What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Brown, and this is the AshSaidit Show. Over 1,900 episodes since 2014. Wow, that's crazy. Over 500,000 streams worldwide and counting. All that is on account of you guys. So thank you so much for continuing to love on me, continuing to support, and continuing to send me good, wonderful companies and clients. So today, we have the president of Dignity Coconuts, the wonderful Eric Olson. Hey, Eric.
Hello.
How
Thanks
are
for having me
you?
on.
Thank you so much for joining us, Eric. Now, Eric, what part of the world are you today?
I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota.
And a little birdie told me, Eric, that you're headed on out the country soon. Where are you headed to?
That's right. We're headed to a trade show in Germany tomorrow.
Ooh.
And then I get back, do a couple other travels, and I'll be off to the Philippines to visit our plant coming up in a month.
That is incredible. You are very hands-on. You're not one of those presidents that's sitting up in your presidential suite somewhere, sitting behind a desk. You are out there in the trenches.
Oh, no.
I love it. I love it. All right. So what is a little bit about the backstory of Dignity Coconuts? How did things start?
Yeah. You know how there are coconut farmers around the world, especially in these third world areas, that really get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Many times you might hear of coffee farmers that are really almost like indentured slaves. We found that was happening in the Philippines with coconut farmers. They were lured into predatory loans and corrupt pricing practices from the buyers of their coconuts.
Wow.
And these loans have over 200% interest rates, and their families would get trapped in debt for generations. And eventually they would usually have to sell off parts of their land just to pay off the interest. And it created huge problems for these communities, and including many trafficking victims come from these kind of situations. Yeah. So we stepped in and started a coconut company as a way to help these farmers escape from that and prevent them from getting lured into trafficking.
Wow, that is incredible. That is absolutely an incredible story. So, as you guys had the idea for this company, for this coconut brand, what was the first major hurdle that you saw?
Well, the first one was that we were going to a very rural area. This was really the middle of the jungle. We came out of a Christian nonprofit background, and so we knew that when you help people, proximity is key. If you're helping people that live in really poor areas, and yet you live in the rich suburbs, you don't have great perspective. And so, in the same way, we wanted to move into the neighborhood, and instead of putting our coconut facility in the developed area where there was good transportation and roads and everything, we put it where the farms were, which meant the logistics were incredibly difficult. It was dirt roads, and when it was rainy, you'd have to ford 7 rivers to get to the location we chose. And so there were a lot of challenges logistically. Also, building our plant, we couldn't get cement trucks into the area, so we did it cement bag by cement bag. We have a picture of a bunch of our guys across the river, handing these cement bags from person to person, fire brigade style. That's how kind of hard it was to build our facility and get things up and running.
Wow, that is like bag by bag. Like they're like, wow, they're out there. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
So things like electricity and other things that are just real commonly available. Every piece of that was really difficult.
Gotcha. Wow. So, my next question sounds pretty redundant because you've just talked about how incredibly just amazing that you've, had this really awesome idea to not only just develop a company, but you're developing one that's actually helping the communities that you guys inhabit. But in addition to that, compared to a lot of your competition that's on the market, what do you feel sets your product aside from those?
Yeah, in addition to, how we're helping the people, which is a big part of how we're different, we actually decided to make a different kind of coconut oil. We looked at how everybody else was making their coconut oil, and you have usually two options. So you have the refined coconut oil, which is bleached because it's a dark yellow color. It's deodorized because it's stinks, and it's refined because it has a lot of impurities in it. And so it's just highly processed. But a lot of people buy it because it's cheap and it doesn't smell or taste like coconut, which a lot of people like. The other option is the more healthy option, which is a virgin coconut oil. It's also called unrefined. And that one, it's better than the refined for sure, but you nearly boil the oil in the process. And we discovered there was a lot of micronutrients and a lot of other benefits that was lost in the process. And so we looked to the olive oil industry and looked at the process they use, and they usually use what's called a centrifuge. So instead of heating the product, they spin it really fast, and that separates the milk from the oil for us with coconut cream. And when we tried that, we were amazed at how it tasted fresh and mild. It didn't overpower your dish. It had all those micronutrients. It was like, you're doubling, all the benefits in every scoop. And it just had these amazing properties that people really rave about. It's amazing that out of this little corner of this poor rural area of the Philippines comes the best coconut oil in the world, as said by, many critics around the world.
That is incredible. That is really, really awesome. So what do you feel is next for Dignity Coconuts? What's the next little arena you guys want to embark into?
Well, we started just as a coconut oil company, but we started, many people showed us that they use coconut oil as their dry brushing. So we started adding a dry brushing kit for exfoliating and stimulating your lymphatic system. So that's kind of like a juice cleanse for your skin to kind of help it detox. We started seeing that all these natural lip balms that don't have the terrible chemicals that some of the brands you'd find in a drugstore would have, their major ingredient was coconut oil. And so we thought, well, what if we made a lip balm using our coconut oil? And so we did. And again, people rave about how good the flavors are and how natural it is. And it's so... everything's so natural, you could eat the whole lip balm, which sometimes happens. For people who have pets or kids, especially toddlers, a lot of times those kids or pets, they eat the whole thing, and that can be scary when you're dealing with a lot of the chemicals that are usually in lip balm. And I don't know if you noticed, but 90% of what you put on your lips actually ends up in your mouth. And so whether you like it or not, you're eating that chapstick. And I think if you look at the ingredients, you might regret that. So those are some of our products. We're looking at a lot of people use coconut oil as a natural makeup remover, again, to replace those chemicals that most people put on their eyes. This is a real sensitive spot. And people say not only does it take off the makeup really well, but it is a natural wrinkle reducer and moisturizes your skin at the same time. So it's like a 3-in-1. So we're launching this Christmas. We're going to launch some makeup remover pads that are reusable with our coconut oil. But really, to answer the bigger question, we love coconuts, and we think they have some amazing benefits to people. They're a sustainable product, sustainable resource, and there's many reasons to love coconuts. But really, beyond that, we would love to take this kind of business model of really helping people in a holistic way.
Yeah.
And addressing the economic roots, which usually are overlooked by a lot of the nonprofit work that's being done,
right.
and apply this to other industries, maybe, mangoes, or to tech, making other textiles and things like this. We would love someday for Dignity to not just be Dignity coconuts, but to be Dignity products that would have a lot of different things, but the impact would have this robust, holistic kind of impact on these communities that addresses everything from unemployment to, unfair trade practices, to helping people with health and hygiene, to clean water, to the community feeling proud instead of always being pushed down.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the bigger vision.
Wow, that's incredible. You guys are on a whole, that mission is pretty important there, Eric. That's a huge mission. I know you're going to knock it out. That's not even in question.
Yeah. I'll tell you a quick story. We were with a government official in the Philippines, and we were talking about our product and everything we were doing and how we were trying to help this community. And they said, "What's the name of your company?" And they said, "Dignity." And the whole reason we explained, because we're trying to help people out of poverty with dignity. And they looked at us. And these are government officials that are there for the people. They said, "Coconut farmers, they'll never have dignity. They're the lowest of the low in our society, and they will never have dignity." And we were just shocked. We couldn't believe that's the belief. And we want to change that. We want farmers to be proud of what they do. We want their kids to look up to their parents and say, "Wow, you guys do such great work." And instead of feeling like they're the scum of the earth.
Right. Yeah, wow. It's crazy. We're still living in pretty crazy times, as you know, Eric. So there are some closed-minded people out there, but companies like yours are making a huge difference in just different societies in the world, and you're just doing it just one farm at a time. And this message is definitely spreading. So I know that you guys are on the right track. You're doing great work. And can't wait to see what next and what 2024 is going to bring your way. That's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But let everyone know the best way to get the products and to get more information about you guys.
Yeah, you can go to dignitycoconuts.com. You can also find us on Amazon, and we're in about 1,000 stores across the U.S. You can go to our store locator, see which one we're in. But some of the major ones would be in the Midwest, Meyer and Coburn's and Fruitful Yield. On the East Coast, Stop and Shop and Giant, and many others.
Yes, and you guys also have some bundles I saw on the website that you're offering for holidays and stuff, and pretty much year-round. But I love the fact that you guys like to bundle things together, and this is a perfect time. We're going into the holiday season, and, need to get your Dignity coconuts in. So,
what better gift than to give somebody dignity and to give your loved one a special gift. It's great for employee gifts, for, especially if you're thinking about, what do I get my neighbor, my coworkers, and, my family, my mother-in-law. These become great gifts.
Yes, I agree with that. Well, Eric, thank you so much for coming through. I know that you're about to go catch that plane to Germany. I'm totally jealous. All right, I'm just putting that out there. But I certainly appreciate you, and I would love for you to come back because I know that you guys have more and more things to share, and more things are going to be launched in the next couple of months. So I would absolutely love for you to come back and share that with our audience first. So appreciate that.
I'd love to.
And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face. You tell them, "Don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history." That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.